Hello, YouTube. Wanted to update you on what is currently going on. As you can see, I've put in a piece of wood paneling here to replace the rotted wood. This isn't like a new piece of wood, it's a piece of wood Max gave me. Figure I would put in the plywood, and instead of drilling a hole and undoing the wiring and stuff, I just went ahead and cut a line down. So I've got that wood down there in place of the rotted wood. And then up on top, I've also put in another piece of wood here, and you can see there are screws coming in. Those screws actually go to the step ladder that's outside. So I put L brackets here to hold it in place while I was trying to screw it in, and it looks like it screwed it in, so it's held pretty tight. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of insulation on here, just to even it off with this other side and cover these screws so nobody gets poked. So outside, the step ladder does work. I tried it out. You can see we got the air mattress here. The place is still kind of a mess. Starting to get somewhat organized, so I've started to test various systems. And some viewers had commented about the gas. So what I did was I went outside and I turned on the gas underneath on the outside there. Let me show it to you so that all this makes sense. You can see here the RV itself. I was working out here, borrowed Max's step ladder, and you can see I have screwed in these attachments. The bottom one is broken, so I'm trying to find a round plate, round piece like that I can use. But I have screwed in the top part. That's what you saw, the screws sticking through. That was from that top part up there. But I can actually climb on here right now, although it feels kind of flimsy, so I don't think I want to climb on there too much, but it is usable. I climbed up there just to look at the roof, although I can climb up this ladder, which is probably safer. But anyhow, let me try to come by this way here. Got all sorts of obstacles. Got all this mildew I've got to remove. But I came out here per viewer suggestions to turn the gas on. It looks like it's half full here, even though the system said it was more full. And it has a thing called fill here, so I guess this is where you fill up the liquid propane gas or liquefied propane gas. How do you do it? Do you have to go to a specialized place, or can you buy one of those little canisters that they sell for barbecuing? I guess that's also LP, right? And or is that propane? I don't know if that's the same thing as liquefied LPG. Let me know if you guys know. But anyhow, I'm not sure if you have to go to an RV place or some place that fills this, or if you can just get one of those canisters and somehow fill it yourself. But I did turn this knob to have it all the way on. So it came all the way on. And then I went inside. Right now, the system doesn't have any power to it because little blue is unplugged. You can see I was using the inverter, and I was doing some cutting over there. I was cutting the wood, sizing everything, trying to get everything to fit in place before it pours rain again. But you can see we got a nice floor, somewhat nice now, and I've started to clear it out a little bit so it's not looking as bad. Hopefully by this week everything will be cleared out here. Maybe even tonight I might even clear out some of this area. But anyhow, even though I don't have any power, any electric power, I do have gas. And I thought that by turning the knob on where it says light, it would ignite it, but it doesn't. I think that's just for lighting. You have to use a real flame like this, one of these. So if I put this on now, I put it on light, and I go like this, you can see it lit right up. So you know what? We're going to be able to cook using the stove. Woohoo! That's a big deal. So welcome to Cooking with Denoy in the RV, using the RV stove system. So this is really nice. We got 3 burners. Obviously I need to clean all this out. But 3 burners. And now we know that the system does work. I couldn't get the oven to work. I'm not sure what's going on. If you guys know, if you can point it out to me. It's got an off button, but when I try to hit the pilot, I tried pushing it in or anything, nothing comes on. I don't know what you have to do. It says pilot on right there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how you work the oven. Unless you have to, and I don't know what they mean by the pilot light. I guess there's supposed to be a light underneath somewhere. Do I have to manually light it, or how does that work? But I couldn't get the oven to come on at all. But these, before I couldn't turn them, but then, you know, one of the viewers suggested pushing the knob in. So evidently, to work this stove, you push the knob in, then you turn it. And at first, I didn't think anything was going on, because when I turned it, it didn't light up. But then I distinctly heard sss, and I think I smelled the funky gas smell. So I was like, oh, better open up all the windows and the door before we go kaboom. So then I went and grabbed this from Little Blue and decided to try it. So we actually can cook now. The next thing is to try to get this refrigerator working. So if any of you know how to work this refrigerator, please post below if I haven't figured it out myself. I keep reading online and they tell me how to work it, but I can't seem to do what they're saying. It's a Norcode refrigerator, okay? And it has controls here. I don't know if maybe if the electric, now that I have the gas on and the electric, maybe it'll work now. I don't know. Because if it does, that's what I'm going to be using the liquid gas for, mostly running the refrigerator. Then I can actually use food and cook, you know. But I have it off right now. It says gas igniter and it was off. But I might try hooking up the power to Little Blue and then see what happens. But I switched this to gas mode, like that, to gas. Then, you know, and leave it on gas, obviously. Then I set the thermostat on the lowest setting to start it off with. Then I hit this on. And of course it doesn't come on now because there's no electric. But I might try that and see if it gets cold. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that up right now. And what I mean by hook that up, I'm going to take the power cord here. What you're looking at essentially is Little Blue is the house battery for Good Enough. Yeah, Good Enough cannot function without Little Blue right now because this is the lifeline. I basically hooked these up. I'm going to have to pause the camera and hook it up to show you. Alright, I basically can hook up this power here. You can see I've hooked up the positive to the positive, red to red, black to black. So this battery pack is tied into this battery pack, which is Little Blue's house battery. This is the house battery for Good Enough. But they're right now serving as one big giant battery with two banks. And, you know, I can also hook up a third one, which is by switching this on. And then the vehicle battery, the starter battery, becomes part of the bank. I don't really switch this on unless I'm driving, and then what it allows is for that system over there, the vehicle battery and alternator, sends the power back here and charges the house battery banks, both battery banks. So I had both of them hooked up for the last couple days and it worked great. I was able to watch TV, and when it runs low, I can just come out here and start up Little Blue, throw the switch, and let it charge for about 20-30 minutes. It takes about 20-30 minutes to fully charge, I think, because it charges really fast. And then, you know, running the fan, I can run this all night without a problem. But right now we have power, so we should have 12-volt power, which comes into here, hooks up to the Leisure battery connector, which you've seen in a previous video. But that means we now have electrical power, so we should be able to turn lights on and off, you know. So let's try this refrigerator. So I'm going to go ahead and set the thermostat onto the lowest setting. Okay, it is set on 1. I know you guys can't see here. I don't know if it's just not, it's not bright at all. But I'm going to go ahead and set this thing to gas mode on a setting of 1, and I hit on. And it says flame indicator, and the green light comes on. I'm trying to hear anything. Am I supposed to hear anything? Am I supposed to see anything? Or does that mean it's working now? Is this gas? Is this gas? And it says, I don't know if you can see that. The mode is gas mode. And I set it as low as possible right now. And I can turn it up, I guess. But I don't hear anything kicking on. And I don't know if it's working or not. Of course, it's cold right now because I'm full of ice. And there is no light apparently in here. I'm looking and I don't see a little light coming on, so I don't know what's going on. But I don't know if it's the metal feels cold because, but see, it's cold because I have ice in there right now. I don't know if it's working. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and shut off the refrigerator versus letting something blow up. But if you have one of these Norcold refrigerators or an RV like this, and can point out what I'm doing wrong here, what the sequence is that I need to do to get this to come on, and check to see that it is on. Right now the refrigerator is cold because I have packed it with ice. You know, I froze some bottled water at work, a whole bunch of giant bottles, gallon bottles, and like 2 of them, and some little ones, and brought them here and stuffed it in there to make the refrigerator cold so I can store food and keep chilled drinks and stuff like that. But anyhow, I'm gonna shut this off, so I'm gonna put it on off. I'll leave that on the low, and I'll turn off the thing that says gas igniter. I'll turn it off. So the green light would make me think it's working, but I don't know if it is or isn't. I don't know how you can tell other than, you know, if it gets cold. But if you guys know, please let me know, and that will help me figure it out. But yeah, the main thing that I got done today, I actually did all 3 just now today. I did put in those panels, so that means I can start to put up the wall. So you can see I replaced parts of the frame. I didn't redo the whole thing because I didn't want to gut the whole thing and just have a huge mess and not... I just don't have the time or the money, but mainly time and energy. So, you know, that may be a future project, but for now we're just going to do something cheap and get it up. And I don't know if it's that critical. If water's not coming in, which it looks like it's not coming in, then I think I'm fine. The only thing that really remains for me to do right now is I am going to... There's a line over there, a loose line that goes in near there. There's a loose line that doesn't seem to be connected to anything. I'm going to check to see if it's 12 volts. And if it's a 12 volt line, I'm going to install a 12 volt cigarette plug. What that will do is give me a cigarette plug, a 12 volt cigarette plug over there by the bed. So the fan and any other 12 volt devices can be plugged in. I'm just going to put in one plug. And then, you know, if I need multiple plugs, I can plug in a unit with multiple plugs. That way I'm not making a whole bunch of different plugs everywhere. Just one plug for 12 volts. There already is one here along the wall by the TV area right there. But it's up on the wall. But it's far from where I want it to be. I want it here by the TV, and I also want one by the bed. And then the other modification I might do is the room light itself. Thinking of making a switch and putting it right over here along this wall. So if you come to the bedroom and you want a light on, you can flip it on and off instead of reaching up on the ceiling to turn it on and off. Just for convenience, just like we did our bathroom light here, which I think is awesome. Having the ability to flip the light and you see that? We flip the switch and the light goes on and off. So that is awesome. I thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you all for your kind thoughts and suggestions. Those of you who were concerned about mold, I really don't think this stuff is mold. I think it's just discolored wood. I had done work as a handyman before, you know, doing at the RV park, and we encountered a lot of this black wood, and my boss was telling me that it wasn't mold. And when we did see some that was mold, you know, he let me know, and you know, I had to wear the respirator. But then I started to go in there with bleach to try to clean it all out and spray it down. But he says that just because the wood is black doesn't mean it's mold. The mold looks different than so this is just like, to me, it looks just like discolored wood. It doesn't really look like mold. It looks just like discolored wood. But I did remove all that wood. I don't really have a respirator on, although it probably wouldn't hurt to put one on before I try this section here because it's really bad. That whole wall is going to have to be, you know, ripped out, that corner, and replaced. The real way to do it is to remove all of the wall, reframe everything. But then you're talking about taking forever to do this, you know. And remember, I don't have any power. It's like 100 degrees outside. And you're saying live in Little Blue too. Yeah, that could be done. But you know, the whole point of getting this RV was to quickly have a place to reset and settle, which is what I'm doing right now. So my goal, and I know a lot of people may be upset, is just to patch it and make it work. You know, it should look pretty nice when I finish, and as long as the leak is under control, I think I'll be okay, and I seal it. It should be all right. I've gone through 2 rainstorms. There are still some minor leaks along the windows, but not like anything major. It's not like leaking in and flooding and wetting the wall panels and stuff, just sitting on the windowsill. So what I'm thinking of doing is running, I don't know what it's called, like a little thing that overhangs the windows, just to move water away from the seams, and then resealing again with more tape. Yeah, duct tape, that's what we're using. Because the real way to do it is, a lot of people say, strip the whole wall out, reframe everything, and seal everything. But you can see the moldings all missing and broken and bad. By the time I finish, if I was trying to do it the way you guys are suggesting, I could sink literally $10,000 into fixing this RV. And the goal is to have the whole thing operational for under $1,000 in repairs. Okay, that includes potentially a solar power system, which is going to be the majority of the expenses. The rest of it, probably about $200 or $300, is just this kind of stuff that you see me doing here. And I've been using salvaged wood whenever I could, you know, free scraps that I can find, and just buying these little cheap 2x2s, I think those are. And I'll be buying some panels, but I'm going to splurge a little bit on the bottom. I'll leave it as a surprise for you guys to see what I do with it, just to give the RV a little bit of oomph, a little bit of luxurious feel, if you want to call it that. But you know, like having these switches, to me, it's luxurious. It wasn't there originally, and now we have working light that can be switched on and off. So yeah, the ceiling still needs to be done, but I am very happy. Look at the light. It says good. The system is fully charged. So Little Blue, I got a Little Blue battery pack with more than 200 amp hours. Uh-oh, looks like rain. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. I got to pull my tools in. Everything's getting wet. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.